You're doing well this Friday. I'm going to go over some takeoff training today. Give a few minutes for any last minute attendees to pop in, or let's just say a minute and then we'll get started. All right, let's see what we got here. So this is going to be super helpful for people at the dealer, distributor, or, even our own internal guys level. Get some takeoffs from customers and make sure that we're getting them the right product in the right quantities, and being confident in doing so. As we proceed here, I have the question box up here. I'm actually in my home office today, so I have a couple monitors and I can actually view the questions as I'm going through this PowerPoint. So feel free to drop questions in the question box and I can answer them as we proceed. Keep this interactive and make sure you guys are as informed as possible on how to do this takeoff. So this is a photo of the quote request form that we're going to go over today. This is basically the bulk of what we're going to go over today in multiple different scenarios. So it can be as official as this. A takeoff can also be as simple as a customer bringing in a scribbled out drawing on a napkin. The important thing is that you are getting everything listed here in the middle, the quantity of each of the products that we're getting correctly. Let's start off with horizontal cable. This is probably the most complicated out of all of our railing series to do a takeoff, and I believe all the examples we have here are horizontal cable with different railing series. So that's going to be helpful to get pretty confident with that product. So all the fittings are pre-installed in the post. They're stainless steel. They're made in-house using all materials from America, made in America, made in New Holland, Pennsylvania. It's 3/16L stainless steel, passivized in-house, which is a process that eliminates the possibility of rust. They're available in 38 and 44-inch heights. That's obviously to accommodate residential and commercial railing heights, which is 36 and 42. Our posts are all 2 inches taller than the railing, which gives you a little bit of a play and can always be cut down. They are available in 2.5 and 3 1/4 widths. That is just for the horizontal cable. I should note that we do have 4x4 widths available, and actually even 6x6 post wrap and some other options available that aren't available with the pre-installed horizontal cable fittings, and available in many different colors. So again, here's that request form. Going to make a few notes here. Imagine the customer is in front of us and we're filling this out. First, they've selected a 36-inch height and they're using our surface mount posts. The fascia mount post option is as simple as checking that off there in the middle of the request form here. And they have chosen the American Series rail as circled there under railing styles. We're doing a horizontal cable here, so we're going to go through and find each particular post and what post is required there. The first post here is going to be an end post. That's your tensioning end. You're going to need those at the start and the end of every run. We do not have a static end. They're all tensioning ends, just regular end posts. Next one there is a line post upgrade. It is possible to use just a standard line post here. I should go over the difference. The line post upgrade is simply a drilled line post, which is what we would call our standard line post, except it has fittings inserted in it. And what that does is, first, it allows you to go off in different angles where a drilled line post wouldn't work. But in this case, the customer is selecting the line post upgrade simply because it provides a consistent aesthetic. If you're getting the standard drilled line post, you won't see those, little chrome fittings around each of the cables. So then we're going to use a corner post. Our corner posts have a very unique fitting inside them that allows you to insert a cable on one end and it will come out the other. So no need to double post for horizontal cable in the corners. It's very cool. And because of that, we can continue down this line using those line post upgrades to keep the look consistent. Another corner post, another line post, and then we can complete our circuit here at an end post on the other side of the deck. So we're going to count up each of those line posts and mark them down here under the post section there. Then we're going to decide on a style of cap and trim. This customer has chosen a flat cap. That's all the way down there at the bottom right of the screen, and he's using a two-piece trim. You should note that choosing a one-piece trim with horizontal cable will get you a one-piece notched trim because it will need to be notched to slip down around those cable fittings. Now those are impossible to knock off over time, but it does provide a little bit of a different aesthetic that some people don't like. You may want to consult with your customer on the differences there. Now we're going to find our railing sections. Because we have our dimensions listed here, we can decide on how long our railing sections need to be. Now, if this was a 10-foot section rather than 12 on the left side here, then we would still get the 6-foot sections. The railing sections are not customizable per length, but they are able to be cut down in the field. And then we're going to find our total length of cable needed. So typically with all of our rails, what we say is that everything between two posts comes in one box. And that is true with the exception of cable. We can't include cable for each section because we don't know how many sections you're going to buy. So with the stainless steel cable, you will need to take your whole deck, add up the linear feet of railing, and then multiply that by 11 for the residential height railing, because there are 11 strands on each post, or multiply that by 13 for the commercial height railing. There are 13 strands on that post. So in this case, we add all that up, 12 by 12, or 12 plus 12 plus 24 times 11 is 528 feet. The available lengths are 100, 250, 500, 2500, and 5000. 5000 is really a gargantuan roll that's maybe suited for contractors that do this type of thing a lot and they want to save a little money on that, and just have something in the truck to pull off of. But in this case, we're going to actually overshoot what the customer needs. Always better to overshoot rather than undershoot. So we're going to get him a 500-foot roll and a 100-foot roll to get a total of 600, and that should get him to be about perfect. So then we want to look at some additional items that he may need. Obviously, we've gone over the post trim already. We're going to consider his fastening method. At the bottom left of the screen here is our underdeck bolt kit. So if he wants to use that and make it completely code compliant, I would add one of those bolt kits for each post. Cable release tool when doing horizontal cable. Really important for a contractor to have at least one of those. If he makes a mistake and inserts a cable and needs to remove it, which happens even to me, very common thing to do. There is simply no way to remove the cable without a cable release tool. So really important for a contractor to have that, and even some of the contractors that I talk to will leave those with the customer just to have as a maintenance item. Cable rust and stain remover, that maybe not as important unless the customer has neglected the maintenance and has gotten some rust. This rust and stain remover will wipe it right off of the cable. Cable threading needle is great if the contractor is using drilled posts. If he is using the line upgrade post, there's really no need for it. You just push the cable in, it comes right out the other side. But the drilled posts, especially the 3 1/4 ones, are pretty wide. It can be a little challenging to get the cable through without catching on the other side, getting it through that other hole. Cable gripping pliers are required on every job. You can't install horizontal cable without them. If you use regular pliers, you really are in danger of scratching off the layer of passivation on the cable, and it will rust in that location. So really recommend using the cable gripping pliers. It grips the cable firmly, but yet gently. So that's going to be required. Contractors that do this often probably don't need to get some of these tools for every job. They probably just need to keep them from the first job and then not get them every time, but they do need them. Cable rust and corrosion protection, I recommend that this is included for every job and that it's left with the homeowners. We do recommend that the rust and corrosion protection is installed. You basically just spray some or empty some out on a cloth and wipe down each of the cables twice a year. We tell people when they bring their patio furniture in for the year and when they take it back out to remember to add that rust protection to keep that cable looking brand new for its entire lifespan. Stainless steel cable cutters, these are great. I mean, some contractors may already have something like this, but it's not likely that they will have some that will do the trick. The cable really needs to be a very, very clean cut. If it is not a clean cut, you will really struggle to get the lockjaw to hold on to the cable. Alternatively, the cable is very, very, very strong, and most stainless steel cable cutters are going to get dull very quickly. You can get cable cutters on Amazon for probably 1/3 of the price of what we sell this for, but you probably, if you can even cut that cable with it, you're going to be having some serious issues with it even before that first job is finished. These stainless steel cable cutters will go over and over and over and over again. They're very strong, very high quality. So worth the buy. Again, you can have this, contractor can have this for dozens of jobs before they start to wear down. Cable tension gauge. This one's really more important for vertical cable. Horizontal cable, basically, my wording to contractors is that you're not trying to string a guitar. You don't need this thing to be, super, super tight. You do just need it visually horizontal. If it's drooping in the middle anywhere, tighten it. Excuse me. But yeah, anyway, the cable tension gauge is not always necessary. So that's the bill of materials for that first job. Going to continue here. This next one's going to be a little more complicated. We're going to gloss over some of the stuff that we've already gone over here. This will be a Chesapeake series. Customer chose 36-inch height and surface mount. Here are some of those posts. Notice the The posts going down the stairs are not double posts. He's using a line upgrade post, which can go straight down the stairs. He's using a corner post on the other end, which can continue down the stairs. The only difference here is he will have to use stair end posts at the end of his stair instead of regular end posts. They'll be a little taller and allow that stair angle to match up. So going off of the measurements here, those are going to be our section lengths. And then we can add that to the railing section width. Add up the customer selection for caps and trims, and then add up the total amount of cable needed for this deck. Notice they are significantly overshooting the amount of cable needed here, and that's pretty typical. You're going to want to add a lot more than you feel is necessary. If you're questioning it, just add another 100 feet. Better safe than sorry. Contractor is going to be pretty upset when they get to their last cable fitting and they're almost done with the job and they can't finish. So again, I'm not going to go over any of these. We just went through them, but important to remember to add those items at the end of the list. And here's a bill of materials for that job. This one's going to get a little more complicated. Customer is choosing American here with surface mount posts, 36 height. This is the one scenario where we are going to double post for horizontal cable. Pretty rare that has to happen, but it will be necessary in this case. At the landing of the stair here, you'll notice there's double posts. There's sort of two ways to do that, but this is the more typical, putting a stair end post at the last tread of the stair and then starting a new run of cable. The reason that this is necessary is because the stair angle does not allow a standard end post. Basically, the top of a stair requires a standard end post, and the bottom of the stair requires a stair end post because of the angle of the stairs. And so it's not gonna line up as far as the height of the cable if you are just using a regular end post at the bottom of the stair. We'll show you in this next slide, I believe here. Where is that at? We're adding up the posts here and the caps. Yeah, I thought we had a extra slide on this. Apologize, guys. The one thing we could do here to eliminate one post is to take the stair end post on the left, all the way at the left side of the slide here. We can remove that and then just move the end post out further, but it provides a very strange look that customers typically don't prefer. It looks a bit odd, especially because there's still no way to get away from the double posting on the inside corner there. I shouldn't say there is no way. There is a way. You would just have to build that landing out another, I think it's about 18 inches. And then you could use an end post, or in this case, you would use a corner post and continue downstairs. That would get rid of the double posting, but it requires some very strange framing. I've never seen a contractor do it. I wouldn't do it myself, but it is technically possible. If you have a customer that really is set on doing something like that, contact me and I will help. Get through that and help with the takeoff on that one. Tom, thanks for your question. Using the line post upgrades on straight runs, Tom's asking. The only reason we're using the line post upgrades is say, let me get out my pen here. I'm going to circle this one here. The only reason we're using a line post upgrade on that one there is aesthetics. You don't need one. You can use a standard line post there, but it's not going to have those stainless steel fittings. And when you have a stainless steel fitting here and here. There has to be one here because we're going on an angle. Has to be one here, has to be one here, has to be one here. This one you can get away with without it. Has to be one here. There's going to be fittings on basically, let's see. Yeah, there's going to be fittings on every single post here except for these two. So that provides a little bit of an odd aesthetic, and it kind of looks like something's missing. But will it work? Yeah. If you use a standard line post there, the drilled line post, and just go straight through it, yeah, it'll work fine. Just many customers find that to be an odd look. Hopefully that answers your question. Erase my drawings here. So next we're going to add up all the sections just like before. And add those to the sheet. Notice that the stair and level sections are different. And we're going to have a page coming up here that shows the brackets a little bit, but we are going to need some different brackets for this deck because of this sort of odd angle. It's not a straight angle, this bump out here. Let me highlight that as well. Getting too excited to use my pen here. Now that I remembered I can. But yeah, that angle here is going to require some horizontal swivel brackets. And so we'll get into that in a moment. So yeah, this will be almost 1,000 feet of cable. I would probably myself just order 2 500-foot rolls here. I would have like about 150 foot extra. It's almost like the more cable you have, the more extra you want to have. But yeah, 836 feet total if you take that equation we used before and take the total linear feet, multiply by 11, and that's where you get your 836 feet. And there's the equation there. So here are those brackets. You can take a look at the price book. It has all these brackets. It's also available on our website. I think it's under products, accessories, and then series brackets. And you can see every bracket we have available there on our website. That's also a great one to show to the customers. You know, I know a lot of the customers sort of like to do this their own takeoff or be involved with it maybe more than you guys would like. But yeah, so here are the available brackets for the American series. I would steer customers away from this universal stair bracket over here, this little tab. It's really a pain to use, and it's, I think, definitely on its way out because the universal swivel right next to it, that 0 to 52 in any direction, that really is a get out of jail free card. You can almost use that universal for, you can use it for anything as far as I'm aware. It's more expensive, so I wouldn't just start, you know, using that as a baseline. But yeah, so this is that horizontal swivel, the 0 to 40 degrees that you would use on that little bump out. And here are the brackets available for Chesapeake. I don't think we needed anything weird on the Chesapeake deck that we laid out here today, but important to go over these as well. Notice there is no universal swivel for the Chesapeake. With how wide the Chesapeake rail is, it doesn't work. It does have a horizontal swivel and a vertical swivel, but it does not have a universal one. And again, the additional items that you would want to tackle at the end of the order. So here is that bill of materials. Just have accessories listed here at the end. You know, not knowing exactly what this customer may or may not have in the truck already. But yeah, that is what you would order for that last deck. So that is it for today. I'm going to remain online here a little bit. If you guys have any extra questions you want to add in, um, hoping all this made sense to you guys. Feel free to reach out afterwards as well if you need any further guidance. We'd love to be here as a resource for you. So keep you guys as successful as possible. That keeps us as successful as possible. So appreciate you guys joining me on a Friday. At 11 o'clock, if you guys are available that time as well, we are going to be going over Superior Plastic 1000 series. It's my favorite line of railing we have for Superior Plastic. Pretty cool stuff. So we're going to go over that in about a half an hour now. So if you guys hang tight, I will see you then. Thank you guys.